also known as the Resilient Mum. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about why I decide to home educate my daughter. I hope that this video will serve you in the best way possible. First of all, it's the freedom aspect. So it's the whole aspect of her being able to have freedom. My daughter is very spirited and she is just that, a free spirit. She doesn't like to be held down and held back and restricted. But with that said, she does respect and abide by rules, but she prefers to have freedom to be able to explore, freedom to be able to learn. She doesn't give you trouble as such if you say to her, oh, Isabella Grace, you can't do that because you'll hurt yourself. She understands rules, but when it comes to learning, she likes to learn on her own terms. So what I do is I make learning fun for her, and I find that where she was at school, she wasn't enjoying the work. She likes to learn in different ways. She doesn't like to just sit down and look at a board and write, or she doesn't like to sit down and not be able to explore and not be able to touch and to talk. She's very tactile, she's an extrovert, and she loves to communicate. If I'm talking to her about something, she likes to ask why, she likes to ask how, she likes to ask when, and she definitely does ask all of those questions, but she loves to learn, and that's the way she is, so I encourage it. That was one of the reasons why I decided I'm going to home educate her, as I was doing before. So initially, I actually stayed at home with my daughter from when she was born to 4 years old. I decided I didn't want anybody looking after her. She's my baby, she's my daughter, she's so precious, I'm not giving her to strangers. And that was the end of that. So I stayed at home with her. I started working from home, and I didn't send her to nursery, I didn't send her to any childcare establishments until she was able to talk and communicate. She started talking at a very young age, and she started having these big opinions as well, which was really amazing. She's a very unique little girl, my pride and joy. So I did send her to a nursery school when she was about 3.5, and she went there for a few hours for like 1 or 2 days a week. Then I took her out after some incident happened where she said that something had happened and they didn't tell me, and I just was very alarmed about that, because from working in an educational environment, I know that there's certain protocols and procedures that you have to follow, and those are things I consistently did throughout my time in education. And yeah, I just thought, no, I'm sorry, this is my child and you cannot be allowing these things to happen to her or to any child. It's just wrong. I took her out of there because although they were outstanding, in my eyes they were not outstanding. They had so much work that they had to do to improve, and yeah, it didn't make sense to me, to be honest. As she's grown up, I've always encouraged her to talk, to express herself, to let me know what is on her mind, so that I can see if I can help her, or if I can change something around, or if there's something she needs to be done. And this is why I believe she's a very expressive little girl who is not afraid to share her opinions and to share what is going on in her little mind. I'm happy that she has the freedom to express herself. Also, I'm happy that she has the freedom to learn the way she deserves to learn in our home environment. The second point was one-to-one support. She gets continuous access to me, doesn't have to fight for my attention. When you're in schools, they have about 25 plus children in one class, and sometimes children may be a bit more reluctant to ask for help because they are aware that time is going, they are aware that the teacher's already explained that and everyone else seems to have got it, so maybe I should get it too. But no, it doesn't always work like that. And I'm happy that she's able to access me whenever she needs help with anything. She doesn't have to worry about asking questions, because this is why I'm here to support her. I get to spend more time with her. I love spending time with her. I get to do amazing things with her also. I can continuously pour into her and ensure that all her needs are met. I have never missed a milestone in that little girl's life, and I pride myself on that because that's something I was adamant that I would never do. I know that some mothers, some fathers, some parents have to go to work, so they miss out on their children's first steps. But I want to encourage you and say that you are building a life for your child or your children, and your life may not have enabled you to be able to do certain things that you may have wanted to do, but I want you to look ahead and I want you to focus on what you're building and remember why you're doing it, because that matters as well. So her curriculum is completely and entirely tailored around her. I've created learning plans and specifically ensure that I've tailored them around her and her interests. They're also influenced a lot by her learning patterns. So as I mentioned before, she's not a sit down and write child, but there are moments where she has to write. There are moments where she sometimes has to sit down and write about something she's done or do a review, and she's happy to do that. But I break up her day by not just sitting down and doing things. We go out, we see the world, we explore, we take learning outside. So learning doesn't just happen at home, learning happens everywhere and anywhere. I am a Christian, obviously. And I didn't want her to be put in an environment where she's going to be learning about things that for me are not of God and that go against God's will. I recall working in an establishment once before and they were doing a Christmas nativity play. Now, they were talking about, oh, the aliens are coming, there's a spaceship. And I thought, that was never in the nativity. That's not even in the Bible. What are you talking about? And from there, I decided if I ever have children, I'll probably home educate them, literally. So this has been something that's been on my mind from ages ago. When I sent her to school in 2019, it was something I did reluctantly. On one side, I was like, oh, she'll make friends, she'll get to grow and she'll learn new things. And the second part of me was like, I do not want to send her there. This is my daughter. Are they going to look after her? Is she going to be safe? What will happen? So I had all these questions going around, and I really do feel like if I'd listened to the other side, I would have kept her at home with me because there was nothing wrong with that. But most of you may know that at the time we were living in different accommodation, we were not settled. So I wanted her to have some form of consistency and to have some sort of routine back into her life, because I felt that she and myself was robbed of a lot of things at that time. But God fix it all, so I give God thanks for that. I aim to raise her to have godly standards, godly morals, godly principles. There are certain things we do not entertain, and I know that not everybody will understand that, but that's just the way we are, especially my family. We don't entertain certain things, especially as I mentioned, if they are not of God, we do not want to know about them at all. I do not want anybody to confuse my beautiful little flower and tell her things that are not true and things that are not accurate, i.e. the aliens and the nativity. That just doesn't work for me. And I also do not believe in the Big Bang Theory. I don't want to know about that. I'm so sorry. She can learn through play, and in learning through play, it enriches her learning experience. I have actually, as mentioned, tailored her current curriculum around her interests. So at the moment, she's really into Lego Friends, something she's been interested in for years. So everything that she's doing for her English and her maths and her art and design, it's tailored around Lego Friends, and it's really cool how I've actually implemented it, and it's very unique, but it's especially important because it's something that I know that she enjoys. And so there's no, oh, I don't want to do this. Every day she gets to learn something different, and I just think it's beautiful to be able to give her that enriching experience. She learns through learning resources, also different learning materials, experiencing life and going on different adventures. She's always constantly learning new skills and learning new things. There's no boring, continuous routines. Like, it's not come in, sit down, read a book. Every day is different, and we plan our day as we desire, to be honest. We have structure because I am super meticulous, I'm super organized, and I like everything to just flow. but I can also be very spontaneous. So it's not rigid and we have to do this, we have to do that. Unless she has an extracurricular activity, which I am paying for, then that's different. Every day is also different. Every day there's something new for her to do, for her to discover, and for her to learn about. She always has something to look forward to, especially on Fun Day Friday. We always make sure that every day is fun, but Fun Day Friday blows all the other days out of the park because we just do whatever we feel like doing on Fun Day Friday, and there's just so much fun to be had. I can continue to cater to her growing needs by giving her the best of everything and ensuring that she has the best of everything. I get to watch her thrive and grow as she learns. When she started school, there were certain things she wasn't doing, and now that she's been home educated, she's actually doing these things and she's quite advanced at them. So I'm very impressed with how a change of her learning environment has actually helped her to come a long way. We celebrate achievements together, especially recently she's completed her language class, her first language unit for the term, and the teacher's feedback was just amazing. And these are things I live for. I live to see my daughter thrive in this life. So it's important to add that I'm in no way tearing down schools. If you are a mother who sends your child to school, I am not judging you. I see nothing wrong with that. What works for me may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me. I will never judge anybody on their decisions with their child or their children, because my mother always says, who knows it feels it. So whoever is experiencing it knows what works for them, and whoever doesn't experience it is obviously not going to know and not going to understand. If I face any negative commentary in regards to my decision to home educate my daughter, I just shut it down politely and say, this is why she's my daughter, this is why God gave her to me, and this is why I'm her mother, because I know what is best for her. Thank you for your opinion, but we are so good over here. Don't allow anyone to make you feel bad for your decision to home educate or your decision to send your child to school or your children. I have friends who send their children to school and they're happy with that decision. And these are actually friends that I met whilst working in education. So we have had our eyes open to so much. If it works for them, it works for them. We don't have a judgmental relationship where they're like, oh, you need to send Isabella Grace to school. Our relationship does not flow like that. So God bless me with this amazing little girl, this amazing little person, and I'm going to ensure that I always do my best by her. I must continuously train her up, knowing who God is, knowing what she's capable of, and knowing who she can be when God is continuously working throughout her and in her life. I'm at peace knowing that she's happy, that she's protected, she's safe, and she's blossoming. After certain encounters with school, I actually made it reinforced my decision and helped me to make my decision, because I just thought, do you know what? Let me just take her out of here and leave you to do what you're doing. Maybe the other parents didn't mind, maybe it was just one of those things for them, but I definitely did mind, and I thought, not this little girl, please, not my little girl, because this little girl is different and I don't want her being sad or experiencing certain things because they perhaps had their eyes focused on something else. There were so many things that Isabella Grace actually used to come home and talk to me about, and I was shocked. I went through stages of being livid to being shocked to being disappointed, and it just reinforced and made up my mind to take her away from that environment, bring her up, raise her up in a home environment where she's going to be happy, educated, because this is why I've got my degree and everything else I need. I have studied children, I've worked with young people, I've worked with children, so I'm able to provide the exact same thing but much better than what I used to do with the other little amazing people in my life for my daughter. So why not? It was a no-brainer. Last but not least, as mentioned before, I can continue to accommodate her needs and to ensure that she has everything that she needs to grow and to thrive. Do you home educate? Are you thinking of home educating? Do leave your comments, opinions, and whatever else you have to share that is positive down below. And do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Have an amazing day. Bye.